I write music, I always try to take risks. I always go to a place that's scary for me. In other words, it's almost like making a confession. So I'm really pouring my soul out onto the page. And it's wonderful if someone listening to my music can really hear that somehow my music sounds like my personality. Although I don't, on the other hand, you know, it's so hard to compose music that I don't do anything a whole lot more than just struggle to get the notes on the page. I'm not really thinking too much about, you know, the afterlife of the piece after it's done. But I'm hoping that the end result will sound like who I am. I always approach a piece through melody. That's my gateway. And whether I use it or not, a melody will suggest different paths and ways to go. And I might sort of shelve it later, but in any case, it gives me a springboard. Then, you know, the first few weeks of a piece I find to be most torturous. You know, I just don't know what it is yet, and it's a very scary place to be. It's a little bit like being blindfolded and feeling your way in the dark. And then hopefully somewhere around maybe a third of the way through the piece, it starts to suggest to me what it might do in its future. And that's always a great moment for me because I make a kind of a list of things that are gonna happen. And whether I actually get to those things or not is immaterial. I do have the carrot then at the end of the stick, something to go towards, which I don't have in the beginning necessarily. So when I tell people that I'm an intuitive composer, that's what that means, is that I don't have my plan. I don't have any kind of form in mind at first, but it comes to me kind of slowly, gradually, over time. I think my strong suit is narrative. I'd really like to think that I carry an idea through its life throughout the course of the piece, and that the idea is transformed and there's been some kind of life lived. As I've been writing and as you listen to the piece, you hear a transformation of some kind. And if a listener, I would be happy if a listener can follow that, can follow the idea through its life and through its various dramas and travails, and somehow be excited by, saddened by, whatever, the various things that happen to the idea. And, you know, I'm not trying to tell a story in terms of being programmatic. I really do try to tell a purely musical story. And if that is something that a listener can get by listening to my music, I will be very, very happy. Whether they like it or not, they might not like the piece, but if they were able to stay with it, then that's what I'm aiming for, is that narrative.